So nobody. What about the Taylords? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, no one traced it.
Aren't they called Taylords?
Yeah,
They
well,
are?
Swifties.
Oh, Swifties.
Yeah, but Taylor. I think that's Taylor Williamson's name he gave his
okay.
his fans.
Okay.
But they should be
the Swifties.
the Swifties.
Okay.
But
also that's confusing.
the Venn diagram of
Jonathan,
Swifties.
Jonathan Swift fans are also called Swifties.
Oh no!
So that's
okay.
like a classic war in Hollywood. The Jonathan Swift versus Taylor Swift.
On the phone now, I want to get to, I'm so excited to have her. Moshe Kasher is with us already. His new album, Crowd Surfing Volume 1, is available. Anya Marina is in studio as well. Who I have on the line is the author of a book that you've heard a lot about on my show, Getting to I Do, as also many other books. But the book Getting to I Do has changed my life. I actually recently signed a copy that a woman brought to a show because I talk about it so much. Welcome to the show, author Dr. Pat Allen. Welcome to the show, Dr. Pat.
Thank you for having me. I love sharing.
Thank you so much for sharing. You have a radio show on LA Talk Radio, Thursdays 4 to 6, that you can stream online. I really recommend it. Great relationship advice from Dr. Pat Allen herself. And you can find all details about that at drpatallen.com. You can also... I've talked about your book extensively already. You can also schedule an appointment with Dr. Pat Allen, a private appointment, and talk to her one-on-one, and those can be booked through drpatallen.com. And I only know that because I've booked a private appointment with her before and talked to her one-on-one, and she helped me. You've helped me immensely in our one appointment that we talked through, and we talked probably 4 months ago, and I just this past week finally used your advice, and and it worked.
Better late than never.
Better late than never. And it worked for me. So thank you so much. You're
welcome.
Now, you told me that, and I read your book, which is all about choosing to be in your feminine energy or your masculine energy to attract the right partner, who is going to be then the opposite energy that you choose. And I read your book, and I wanted to be a feminine energy woman because why wouldn't I? I'm a girl. I'm feminine. All my friends who read
your book. But you're also a boy.
Yes.
Boom!
I
roasted.
am a boy. Just got roasted.
Girls have boy souls called the animus.
Animus?
And men, the animus. And men have girl souls called the anima.
Carl
Jung's wife wrote a nice book, The Anima, the Animus, if anybody wants to read it.
Okay, so we all have these working together, and but you can't always operate from both of them.
We're all androgynous. My doctoral work is androgynous semantic realignment. I manipulate words to manipulate energy. All there is in the world is energy, negative, positive.
Right. But what is your overarching thesis of Getting to I Do? If you could just quickly, explain for those who haven't heard me talk about your book ad nauseum.
Stop
negotiating with equality. This is one situation where equality leads to competition. Complementarity, I think, how do you feel about that? What can I do to help us feel better? Or, I don't feel very good about this. What do you think about doing it this way? And what can I do to help us do better? Complementary communication enhances intimacy. It's a waltz.
That's
Equal
worked in my life.
Communication is
what she's talking
perfect.
about.
Pardon?
I was just saying, this is Anya, that those things that you're talking about have actively worked in my life, like magic.
I understand that, but people hate the thought of not being equal everywhere.
Yes.
And that leads to competition, which is great for divorce attorneys and super for me, but I don't work for money. I work for success.
But what is your hourly rate?
$250.
There we go.
And well worth it. But I mean, essentially, I think the greatest thing that And I hope you don't mind, but I've been talking about your book in my act on
Why
stage.
would I mind?
Because I don't want you to accidentally misquote you or misunderstand.
Honey, if you misquote me and I'm listening, I'm going to very, very complexly compete with you by saying, "Oh, Anya, you have said something that I disagree with. What do you think about listening to what I'm saying about what you said and working out a deal?"
Right.
See, it works at home. It works at work.
I love that. That's a great way to approach it, and make sure.
And don't forget, equality is at work because that's where you're both wanting respect.
So, what I tell my audiences when I'm talking about your book, because I tell these girls, I go, there's a book that if you're struggling like I was for so long to find a boyfriend, whatever you're doing is not working and you've just given up and you don't even want to date anymore and it's just causing you so much grief and consternation, get a book called Getting to I Do. Getting to I Do. I say it a million times, and I say if you can't write it down right now because you're with a guy right now who you want to pretend like you don't need this book with, just private message me after the show and I will tell you again. But it's called Getting to I Do, and the biggest tip I can give girls from this book, because there's a lot of information in this, but the one that I think every woman doesn't understand is that you cannot sleep with a man before you're in if you want a monogamous committed relationship with a man, you cannot have sex with a man before you get that commitment. No, there's no exceptions. Now, is that correct?
Sex is everything you taste, touch, smell, see, and hear. I only recognize intercourse as psychologically, spiritually, religiously significant. So he cannot get into your body.
He cannot get into your body.
That's right. With his penis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. I just figured out what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Unless you've negotiated monogamy, continuity, and long-term goals. If you allow him into your body, that isn't a rape. That is a gift. You've given him the gift of your body. Remember, I call intercourse God's moment. It's the only moment in your life that you can create a new human being.
Wow, yeah.
So I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care who you're affectionate with. It's penile insertion in mouth, anus, or vagina.
Oh, I thought the mouth I could get away with.
Nope,
Oh,
you
damn
can't
it.
do mouth.
Okay.
You can't do mouth.
So
blowjobs.
hand jobs are okay?
Hand jobs are okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. I love hand job. Massage parlors?
Yeah, but here's the staker. Going down on us is, I call, God's gift.
I call myself God's gift to going down on you, so this all works out.
But we don't go down on you.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait, I hate this.
So we don't go. Can they go down on us?
Yes.
Of course.
Before
Wait a minute.
Before a commitment?
Doctor, you wrote a book.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hold
If
on,
he's
Doc.
willing.
Doc,
What?
you wrote a book that says that men can go down on women, but women can't go down on men until they commit.
Yes.
I'm sure it's in the book, or the book that I just finished with. Have you read It's a Man's World and a Woman's Universe? That's my latest book.
I know. I have it, and I'm slowly making my way through it, but it has a lot of
it's condensed.
Okay.
It's a summary.
Oh, okay, great. It's a man's world and a woman's universe. Dr. Pat
That's
Allen,
right.
check
They're
out that
in charge of things, and we're in charge of the energy, air. Which would you rather, be in charge of things or energy?
Energy.
That's right. How do women get what they want? By knowing what they don't want. I don't want polygamy unless I'm a prostitute.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to just hear from you once a year. And I don't want to date you longer than 6 months without talking about where we're going.
Ooh, I like that. So these are all okay things to say at what point when you're seeing someone?
When he does or says, I want in.
Yeah.
You'll put
Okay.
That's how I always put it. I always say, I want in.
You want in.
I want in.
It's kind of
I'm
sexy.
tired of these hand jobs and all this titty fucking.
I
want
mean-
in.
But Dr. Pat Allen,
What?
yes.
Oh, I'm just saying what.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so here's what but I really want to drive home. Why can't we let them in? Why? Because it's our gift. I understand that
tell
it's our
you
gift.
why.
Thank you.
We are giving him the gift of his orgasm with nothing in return.
But what if you give him a hand job and give him an orgasm? Isn't that giving a gift
I
of
got news for you. If you tell me a penis in your mouth is the same as a hand job, we got other things to talk about.
That's
Amen,
true.
sister. Amen.
2 dicks in the hand is same as 1 in the bush or something like that.
Look,
Okay.
how old are kids when they start being sexual? Tell me how old they are.
15, 16.
8?
9.
That was
9?
me.
Really?
Yep.
They're
Oh, for
playing
me it was
doctor at 9.
27. Okay, yeah.
You see?
But isn't there something that this is what I want to really get at is that whenever I present this argument, girls go, "Well, I want to have sex with him. I'm sorry. I get in there and
You know what?
I want it.
have
So why
no-
can't I get what I want?"
Anya, I'm
That's
not
Nikki.
a
I just want to
moralist.
be clear.
I'm a therapist.
This is going to affect my
Look.
sessions.
You can negotiate. You can negotiate a significant intimate relationship when you negotiate, monogamy sexually and socially. Continuity. How often am I going to see you? And where are you aiming in your life? I'm aiming towards marriage. And if you're not available or you're married, this will never happen. I'm not ever going to let you in.
Right.
But what about a woman that just wants to sleep with someone and doesn't want
I'll
marriage?
tell you, sir. What is your name, sir?
Oh, I'm Moshe. And I'm married, and so I'm out of the game. But I am curious. What if you're a young touring comedian and, so
I do it all the time. I work with prostitutes. I work with madams. I don't care what you do. I only have to report you with my license for child abuse, elder abuse, or disabled adult abuse. What you're doing in bed and with your body, the government doesn't care about as long as you want it as much as he does.
Right.
I'm just
Now-
saying. I'm saying I'm curious. What do you say to young women that are like, well, I just want a sexual
I'll tell you
tryst?
exactly. The first thing I say is, they say, "What are you?" I'm Catholic. I'm also Mormon. I'm also a minister. I love religions. They each have their little gig, and I love all of them. But when it comes to morality, that's between you and God. And so when a woman comes to me and says, Pat, because I let them call me Pat in my office, but you introduce me as Dr. Pat Allen. That thing is hard to get. But in personal contact, you may call me Pat.
Okay.
So I say, look, darling lady, I will absolutely support you having a lover, but here's the requirement. You have to already had sex intercourse with him, because if you have intercourse with him orally, anally, and vaginally, you could bond to him and waste 2 years of your life
There it is.
being...
That's what I
What?
wanted to get at. These girls think that they're not gonna get attached from sex. It's
I
just a
got
guy.
news for you. I make most of my money off of them.
Yes, tell us why.
And you know
what
Their
happens.
doctors make money too.
Yes.
Off the fat they have, off the skinny anorexic they have.
Yeah.
You see, I'm telling you, I'm a nerd scientist. That's what I am. Okay?
Okay.
And I love it. I love it.
But-
I'm coming out with some new stuff, which I'm not going to talk about, but I'm coming out with it. I feel like I'm driven towards creating, and I do. So there's number one. She comes in and says, but I want intercourse. Okay, honey bun, all you got to have is somebody that you've already let in your body, and it didn't work out.
So you can sleep with an ex-boyfriend.
Honey, I don't care if you sleep with everybody. Sleeping is not intercourse.
Okay, well,
Sleeping is affection. Everything except intercourse is affection.
well, you know what I mean, Dr. Pat Allen. I'm
No,
saying
I don't know what you mean.
Okay,
I want to hear what the words are.
Okay, let me be.
Okay, let's say the chain smokers are coming through town, and you're a young lady in Peoria, Illinois, and you just want to have intercourse with either of the chain smokers. You don't care because you can't tell
They're a
them apart.
band.
And then they're
Not
leaving
again.
town the next day.
I could care less. They just have to tell me that they're willing to do STD tests because people die of the biggest killer on our planet is the misuse of sexuality.
Well, I
From
think that,
disease, from lawsuits. Oh,
but girls just think that they can have casual sex, and then
honey,
how many times
know
has a
what?
girl gotten attached to a guy she didn't even like, and
I
she
got
was,
news for you.
yeah,
They hate my work. They hate
they
me.
hate it.
They throw it away.
Yep.
And then they have to buy another copy.
Exactly.
Duh.
Because the women, this is what I keep running into, Dr. Pat Allen, when I am on stage and I tell girls, I do a joke about it. I say, girls, you can't have sex with a guy and get him to be your boyfriend. If you're
Look,
already sleeping
please.
with someone, he's not going to be your boyfriend.
Please, do you hear what I say? Sex is everything you taste.
Fine,
everything
intercourse.
you
I'll
touch,
change the
everything.
joke.
You're not. Look, beware of your thoughts, for they become words.
Right,
Beware
okay.
of your words, they become habits.
You cannot
Beware
have
of your
sexual
habits, they become
intercourse.
your character. Beware of your character, it becomes your destiny. At the bank making money, at the doctor's office being healthy, and in every loving relationship. People do not use words correctly.
Okay.
That's why my doctoral work is androgynous, semantic, realignment. How far can you go in your pickup truck if you never change the tires? Not very far.
Okay, so I want to
60,000
change my
miles or
tires right now.
6 years, whichever comes first.
I want to change my tires right now and just say to you that what I say to girls is what I mean when I say sex, and I'm going to change it because I hear what you're saying. You cannot have sexual
Intercourse.
You cannot have intercourse.
Oral.
Intercourse, Nikki.
Oral, anal, or vaginal.
Oral,
Yes.
vaginal.
With a man who you want to be in a committed relationship with before you have
A commitment
Exclusivity.
to
Monogamy.
Now listen to this one. Now you probably think monogamy means 1-to-1.
yeah.
It doesn't. If a couple wants an open relationship and they say that to me, we negotiate how many other people are going to be available for sex. What is the contract boundaries? I am not a moralist. I'm a therapist.
Right.
I'm on the planet to help you get what you think, what you want. But I'm going to show you the scientific price tag for what you're doing, not my personal. You don't know what I'm doing because it's none of your business.
I wouldn't dare ask. What I'm
You're-
trying to say
Feel free.
is
What?
that I want women who are listening to understand more than anything that you're saying and because I didn't understand it either, is that sex before or is sexual intercourse,
Honey, no.
anal, vaginal, or oral is going to get you into deep trouble with a man.
I just told you intercourse is the God moment when you are going to create a new human being.
Dr. Pat Allen, girls
What?
they think that they can just do it and that they're not going to suffer consequences. What happens during sex biologically that makes women latch on and go crazy over a guy that they didn't even like before they had sexual intercourse,
It's
oral,
called
anal, or vaginal?
oxytocin.
Tell us about oxytocin.
Oxytocin is stimulated within 3 minutes of smelling the person. Sitting in a church
Right.
and you're sitting next to somebody and you've got chemistry for them, you're going to dream of them for 3 days. You're going to picture yourself screwing them because that's nature.
Yes.
Smelling. What do dogs do when they meet each other?
Smell buttholes.
What?
They smell buttholes. They smell each other's
That's
buttholes.
right. Why do they do that?
To get to know each other.
Because they get to know the illness factor within that animal.
Oh, I thought it was to get a commitment. Okay.
I've got news for you. I very much recognize that men know how well a woman is by smelling her vaginal area.
Oh my God, really?
I think so.
Amen, sister.
It's true.
Am I not correct?
Moshe?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I can tell her entire medical history actually.
That's exactly right.
That's why you're married.
Now, here's the problem. Men are in charge of PR, public relations. And because if we don't know this, see, normally governments and churches set up laws for sex. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
You know who's having women's lib openings now? The Mideast.
Oh,
Saudi Arabia, they don't have to wear the face mask.
right.
They can drive a car. They can be announcers on TV shows. You understand what I'm saying?
I should
Move to
Move there.
Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
look for some work.
And I want you to understand, watch how many women die because some idiot man says God said so.
Right.
God speaks through science.
I have a question for Dr.
Yeah,
Pat.
Anya, please.
This is Anya now. I have a question. So Nikki has undergone this major change since having an appointment with you, and she started to use her masculine energy, and she went on
Who's this? Who are you talking about?
Nikki is the one you've been talking to mostly. I'm the host of the show, and Anya.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see. It's
no
against
worries.
of you. It doesn't somebody that knows me. They just know of me.
No, I've worked with. We both
both
have done
I
sessions with you.
I got it.
Yes. Okay. So
I
when I
want
did
you
a
to
session
know
with you,
It takes 3 years to get skilled in my work. 3 years.
I don't even
But you know what?
pretend to be
It's
skilled in
3
your work.
years for every therapist.
Wow.
Every therapist has a gift, you know,
Right.
and
Their
that
vagina.
gift will bloom in 3 years. So maybe you have to go to 6 therapists before you get to me because you hate me.
Right.
Do I care if you hate me?
No.
Yes.
Do I care if you kill me?
Yes.
I mean, you should.
Not really.
Really?
What
Well,
would I
you're
do
dead.
about
Then
it?
who cares?
How much is that session?
How much is that session? Oh, I'll tell you a story. You want to hear a story?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Big man comes in and he says, my teeny tiny Latino girlfriend stole money from me. And I said, well, what are you going to do about it? Well, nothing. I said, well, admit it. You want to kill her. Come on, say it. Say it. I want to kill her. I can't say that. Sure you can. Okay. I want to kill her. Well, why don't you? Because I don't want to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
That's how far I go.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Well,
Guess what?
He
That
killed her.
man, and I'm talking about big,
He killed.
that man thanked me because he could start dating women again.
oh,
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Totally.
not really.
Honey, we have a right. There's 2 forms of law on this planet. There's English law, which is you're innocent until proven guilty, unless you happen to be in America. Do you understand?
Uh-huh.
And then there's Napoleonic law, which is you're guilty until proven innocent. And that's Mexico, Spain. That's where you have to prove you're innocent. So law is what you say it is. And I abide by it.
Okay.
So in America, you have a right to want to kill somebody, except you're going to pay for it, and we're going to catch you.
Right.
I guess what I'm curious about is it cheating to go to a massage parlor and get hand jobs? And do I have to tell my wife if I do that, or?
Oh, that's a good question.
No, you have to negotiate. In my world, you're as sick as your secrets. I don't care. If you guys want 6 lovers each, I don't care, as long as you negotiate it.
I get it.
for example, listen to this. This is a couple from France, and they've been open about sex for quite a while. So they had an agreement to be open, but she picked his partners. She picked the partner. Well, he had a cute 28-year-old secretary that he took to a lunch for her birthday. Doesn't that sound innocent?
Sure.
The wife found out and left him.
Because
And
it wasn't part of the
practically-
plan.
Yeah. And he knew what it was.
Right.
He dated a woman without her approval when the contract. The only way you know you love yourself or anybody else are the commitments you're willing to make and keep.
Okay.
But I don't care what your commitments are, as long as it's not child abuse, elder abuse, and
Or disabled
adult
abuse.
abuse.
Yes.
What?
Or anal or oral or vaginal
The
intercourse or the other
abuse.
abuse.
I don't have to report that.
Okay. Well, can I just, before we have to
But-
let you go.
but
Okay, keep going.
if
Sorry.
You come to me and you're married and you tell me I want this, I say you have to bring him in or negotiate with him or I can't deal with you.
Yeah.
I love it. Only
Um,
as sick as your secrets.
So, Doctor, you had a call with me, like I said, a couple months ago, and you told me
Okay.
that, I told you I'm a comedian who dates a lot of comedians, and you said, great.
Fine.
You're female comics are masculine energy women, dominantly.
Absolutely.
And
I
you said,
think
and
I
male
am I
comedians.
masculine or feminine right now?
And what was that?
Am I in my masculine or feminine now?
Oh, you're masculine as fuck right now.
I am a dumb blonde
Oh, you
when
are.
I'm with my boyfriend.
Right.
My husband died in '08.
Mm-hmm.
But you're
A couple of them died.
You didn't kill him, did
Sorry,
you?
I'm not laughing. I'm just laughing at the way you said that.
No, I didn't kill him. I
Oh,
didn't
good.
kill him.
And why not?
Do you know what the problem is?
What?
You men don't take care of your bodies as well as we do.
I
Hallelujah.
hear you on that one.
Amen, sister.
Yes.
You got it? All right.
But here's what you told me. I was trying to be the feminine energy. All my friends had read your book, and they had decided they were the feminine energy. It was working for them very much to receive and to hold back. And I saw it working for all my friends, so I was like, I'm going to be the feminine energy, which was
Well,
not
do it.
who I am. And it didn't work for me. And I wasn't having the results that I saw my
Do you
friends
think
have.
I really mind if you're the masculine?
No, but I minded it because I was a girl who was resisting having that kind of connotation put on myself of being masculine and going for feminine men. It just didn't.
Exactly.
I didn't want
What's
it.
wrong with masculine?
But
Women create off their masculine soul, the animus.
because I
Remember
felt like it
that.
would make me a little lesbian, and then I'm just like a butch lady looking for a dandy
I got
boy,
news
and
for
I
you.
thought,
Did you happen to hear me say I'm a fake female?
what?
Fake beta.
I act like a dumb blonde when I'm flirting.
Well, okay, let me just ask you this, though, because what I did was you told me that I had every right to ask a guy out because I was going after a
Absolutely.
feminine energy man.
Absolutely.
So I did it. We had a date. I asked him out. He said yes. We went on the date. I got another date already. I asked him out again.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with any of this. I'm telling you, thank you. It's worked for me miraculously. What I'm
I am
wondering
not
is when
against
Dr.
men
Pat.
being with- Do you know that 18% of the marriages in America now are headed up with men that are homemakers? Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. I'm in the 18%.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, I don't feel anything wrong with it anymore because I went out with a guy that I've been chasing for years and wanting to go on a date with, and all I had to do was
Fine.
ask him out, and
Martin
it's because of you.
Scorsese.
And me and Martin are very happy. But so what I wanted to ask you though, for my own life, before we get you off the phone, you've given us so much helpful stuff. Is that when do I get to be in my dumb blonde energy? If I've been the masculine role so far in terms of asking him out, he picked where we went to dinner. He
Man
picked.
who doesn't know your past. The next man.
What about the guy that I'm dealing with now? Let's play in that. Do I ever get to be feminine
You
and
ask for an appointment and you use my tools, which we didn't talk about.
okay?
But you make an appointment. Honey, I want to talk to you about us. Is it convenient? When would it be convenient for you to listen to me?
Okay.
Hopefully today.
So as a
And he
masculine
says, yeah.
energy woman, I can say that, and then when we have that
You
appointment, I can
make an
be.
appointment. How do you think men who find out they're gay after they're married talk to their women? They have to make an appointment.
Okay, so this isn't helping my whole like I don't want to be dating a gay man thing.
I got news for you. They make the best friends you can imagine.
Okay.
Now she's upset.
Okay.
Roasted again.
Dr. Pat Allen, thank
I-
you so much for giving us your time today. I'm serious.
you're-
You are
You're
incredible.
welcome. I enjoyed it.
You're so great.
I love you too. I can't wait to talk to you
I talk
again.
about you constantly. I turn so many people on to your books. I'm excited about your.
May you benefit. May you benefit.
I have already, and I will continue to do so. I
Please
love you
do.
so much, and I love your work. Please keep working. Thank you so much, Dr.
Please
Pat
keep
Allen,
calling.
and thank
Keep
you.
helping me share the message.
drpatallen.com to schedule an appointment with this woman who has changed so many people's lives, including my own and my close personal friends' lives. She's wild. She's hilarious. She's so smart, and I love her. And we will be back with more show with Moshe Kasher and Anya Marina after this. We got to go to break. Bye, Dr. Pat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the show. It's You Up with Nikki Glaser. It's Monday morning. I'm so excited to have my friends in studio, Anya Marina, Moshe Kasher, also in studio. His new album, Crowd Surfing Volume 1, is out. Huge piece in the New York Times as well that you should check out and read about Moshe's work. He has a Netflix special with his wife, Natasha Leggero, another one of my favorite comedians, called The Honeymoon Special. You can check it out now. He has a book. He has a podcast called Endless Honeymoon with Natasha, where you guys offer relationship advice.
Yeah. It's very, very, very similar to Dr. Pat.
Yes.
I would say we have the same advice.
Well, it was interesting, Moshe, to hear you talk about, on break, you said, everyone does their own thing, and her advice is certainly, there's some merit to it. But you and Natasha, you guys had sex before you had a discussion about what you were?
Sure, yeah.
Sure.
I think that happens a lot, right?
It does happen a lot.
This notion that women are, I don't know, I had a problem with some of the stuff she was saying. Because
Tell me.
Well, this notion that women are like the holders of a gift and that men are like hungry dogs that want the gift and you must withhold the gift until it's just like it's such, to me, it feels so reductive, and it reduces women into these like love hungry, like people trying to trap men, and men to these like lust hungry. It's like, yeah, there are through lines in gender where men are horny and women want love. I guess that can be a generalization, but it's like some women are horny and just want to bone, and some men are clingy.
We're all horny and want a bone, but that's just because you want something doesn't mean you get to do it. That's my point, is like, I would like to do drugs every day, and most days I do.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is that the idea that having sex without monogamy is a vice, or is
it's a vice. It is.
Why?
Because when she didn't get into it, but when oxytocin is released in your brain as a woman, that's why women, you are literally addicted to the man the next day. That's why women have these crazy anxiety attacks the next day of, he hasn't written me back, he hasn't texted me back, with a guy that they weren't even worried about texting with before they slept with him. It becomes, I feel out of character. I feel like an addict when I sleep with someone too soon. I feel like I don't have control over my emotions, and I can't get any work done. So I don't have sex with men before commitment, because I know that if a man does not love me, and that I feel completely out of control.
No, but that's really important information about yourself.
But I
the
think
idea
most
that
women are like this, Moshe, and they don't realize it.
I mean, that to me feels reductive.
I'm sorry, I've seen it happen too many times to women who are just like, I just want to fuck, I don't even care, and I just want to have sex, I'm turned on. Listen, the other night, I hooked up, I wanted to have sex so badly. It was very hard for me not to, very hard. But I knew the pain on the other side of that. I don't get to eat every fucking cake I want.
No, I'm saying that is really important information about Nikki. Not about women everywhere need to keep their legs closed so that men can't get in and get the gift before they've.
I
it's
think
all
there's-
this
But I
like
don't think she was saying that. I think she was saying if you want a monogamous relationship, know what you're signing up for. If you don't and you just want to sleep around, great. That's why she was like,
I
I'm
don't
not
think,
a
but
moralist.
no,
I would
I'm-
never be monogamous with a person that was like, we can't have sex until we're monogamous. That would never work for me.
Right.
I would
okay.
be out.
How did it go with you and your now wife?
Natasha. I actually was much more the person that was saying let's wait a little bit with Natasha because specifically because I was a big time slut, which is probably why I'm having such an emotional reaction.
Sure.
But I was like when Natasha and I started thinking about becoming romantic, Natasha was much more like, well, let's just have a fling, and I knew about myself that if I had a fling with her and it didn't work out, that it could get weird because we were peers and we were coworkers, or I guess in whatever way comedians are. I didn't want to have an awkward thing where I then was like, oh, we've slept together. So I was like, let's wait a little bit and make sure there are emotions involved here. But we did definitely have sex before we had the conversation about monogamy.
Right.
And we're married.
You probably were both on the same page, though.
Yeah.
For what you were ultimately looking for.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, listen, I think books like this, I think books like this are good because they codify what is more difficult to figure out through common sense.
Yes.
They make it into a system, and that makes it easier.
And that's why I want girls to understand. I wish this information would have got through to me sooner because I would have blown less guys and become so attached, which wasted so much of my time, so much of my energy worrying about worthless men who I just let in my body too soon.
But that's that whole notion that your body is a gift. To me, is like just weird. Like, what about just having sex because you want to have a physical pleasure?
I understand that, but I want to do drugs because it gives me a physical pleasure, but there's a fallout from doing drugs of depression, of anxiety, of withdrawal that I also feel after sex, and I can't ever anticipate it before I have sex. I'm just in the moment, and I'm like, I want to, I'm horny, and I just do it, and then afterwards I can never anticipate those feelings, but now I can because there's science behind those feelings.
Also, I think we grew up in a patriarchy, and I can't speak for all women, but I'm agreeing, I identify with what Nikki's saying, and I grew up in this culture of like Howard Stern and trying to be cool like Howard, and like I just want to fuck guys, and like, you know, like I don't care, like I just want to like sleep with somebody and get rid of my virginity as quick as possible and like be cool with it, and having feelings or getting attached was seen as like lame and girlish, which was not cool. But then the facts were I would sleep with somebody and get totally attached.
I think all of that is super important information, that when you hook up with somebody, you develop feelings for people. First of all, this whole notion that giving someone a handjob and letting them go down on you, you won't develop feelings is just like, what? Like, that just feels ascientific. That doesn't feel like science.
To me, it feels completely like science.
So you don't get feelings for a man if he goes down on you for an hour. The next day you don't feel...
No, not as much as if I had sex with him and his penis was in me. Not even close,
That's not
dude.
scientific.
Yes, it is.
There's no way that...
from Real Science Journal that talks about oxytocin and penises going in you.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. I don't have the article.
There
but
probably is one, though.
There's no way oxytocin doesn't get released when you let a man go down on you. There's no way that's not.
I'm sure, but it's probably not the same flood as with an actual penis is inside you.
In your mouth.
I'm serious, dude. I'm serious.
No way. There's no... I mean, listen, neither of us are oxytocin scientists. There's no way that giving a man a blowjob creates less oxytocin, creates more oxytocin to suck a guy's dick than to let him go down on you. That doesn't even make sense.
Right.
It is true.
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
But it checks out for me. I just want to speak to women who think that they aren't getting attached to guys. And the thing is, a lot of girls go, well, I've slept with this guy and didn't get attached. I slept with that guy and didn't get attached. And I would like to throw in, were you drunk during these experiences? Because if you were, doesn't count. Mm-hmm. You can still drink and get blackout or, grayed out drunk and sleep around and not get attached because your body literally is not going to remember what happened, which is what I did for so long. I would have casual sex all the time, but I would be wasted for it. So I wasn't spiraling out about these men afterwards because I didn't remember the sex. My body didn't even form a memory. Now, sober sex for me is completely different, and I'm terrified of it. It's like, seriously, every time I feel like I am intimate with a man, I feel like I'm going to OD and my life will be ruined. afterwards because it's been before.
Did you? I'm curious. Every time you hooked up with a guy and went down on him, no sex, you fell for him?
Every time I've blown a guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they go down on you and you don't blow them, you don't fall for them?
That doesn't really happen. It's really never happened.
Well, it is quite a negotiation to make for the guy. Like, here's the deal. You're going to go down on me. I will give you a hand job only.
Yep.
And that's because of oxytocin.
Yep.
I get it.
Yeah, no,
I read it too.
I mean,
It's not the easiest
hopefully
conversation.
it's not the easiest conversation, especially when you're in the midst of hooking up and you're like, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't. It sucks. That's why next time I'm bringing some lube, because unless you're blowing someone, you can't get like I can't spit enough to make my own lube unless I'm blowing someone, because their dick kind of chokes you and then you're able to like get
for them going down on you, you mean?
no to like get fingered and stuff.
Oh.
Can you get fingered in this world?
Yes, you can get fingered.
In
But no
this
penises.
world,
No
you
penis.
can-
But they can so they can have a dildo in your ass, pussy,
No.
and mouth.
I think
Be
so.
jerking off
I think
and
Yep,
going
yeah,
down on you.
yeah.
And that's cool.
Yes.
But the minute
Yes.
that they put it in for
Yeah.
1
I love
second,
Moshe's
you'll fall in
visuals.
love.
Yes. I'm serious.
It's
I gotta be honest, the only thing that makes me different than most of the girls that are operating on this with the men that I'm going after is that I won't fuck them.
mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I mean, I have an amazing personality or whatever. And I'm smart and I'm funny and I'm cool to be around. But that stuff is great. But the one thing that sets me aside is I don't want to give up the one thing that really means a lot to me. My mom early on in my life said, Nikki, don't give up your sex. And I never knew what the fuck
I just
that
hate
meant.
this language.
Yeah.
For me, that is like giving someone the key to my fucking heart.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's just what it is.
And if
I
it's-
wish it weren't, because I love sex. I
Right.
would have loved to have sex the other night. Everyone thinks it's so easy for me to turn down sex. It's not. A penis was right there. I could have had it in me, and it would have felt amazing. But I didn't, because I care about myself more than them, more than a fleeting pleasure.
And I 100% believe that that's your truth, and that you should always honor your own truth. 100%. I mean, if I'm having a reaction to this cosmology of sexuality,
I know women-
it has nothing to do with me doubting that it's true for you.
Yeah, Moshe, I know women who have become obsessed with you
Oh,
because
sure.
they slept with you, and it
I know
was
women-
casual.
I know women who have become obsessed with me without it.
Okay, but I'm telling you, there's been a girl. I remember a girl from way long before you got with Natasha who used to have casual sex with you, and you had no idea, and maybe you did. She was obsessed with you. And it started out as just fun. This is just, I know what this is. This is just casual. This is an arrangement. But when you weren't around, I had to listen to stuff about you all the time.
No,
She
but
was
this
in
is-
love with you.
Of course, I'm not doubting
because of
that that's
your penis
No,
being in her.
well, that's not a phenomenon that I doubt exists. Of course it exists, but that's like an anecdote.
It is an anecdote, but this is an anecdote. It's over and over.
Just
with
because
every
Martin
woman.
Scorsese couldn't stop talking about me, it doesn't make it a universal spiritual truth.
That would be great.
Just because Air Bud couldn't stop.
He does like to refer to him as she when we're talking about our friendship, me and Martin's friendship.
I call Martin Animus.
Yeah.
How did you and Natasha negotiate a commitment then?
It was difficult for me because I wasn't used to monogamy.
Yeah.
I had never been monogamous before.
So how
Did
did
you
it
bring
go
it
down?
up?
I brought it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was she cool being cash for a while?
She wanted to be I think if things had gone, if she had been the driver of that relationship, we would have slept together for a little while and then gone our separate ways. In the beginning, I mean, before we
Right.
realized we fell in love with each other. And
How did you fall in love?
I slowly, I guess, like in my life, my two paradigmatic relationships beyond my own promiscuity through my 20s and 30s was that, and my teens really, honestly, was that my dad and my mom, who fell in love, moved in together, and had an abusive relationship for 8 years, and then never hated each other for the rest of their lives. And my stepmother and my mom, who she didn't really love him, and she kind of didn't want anything to do with him. And then slowly he was like, "Well, if you're not going to commit to me, I'm leaving."
Your stepdad and
my
your mom?
my
Yeah.
stepdad. And then she finally was like, "Okay, fine, I love you," and they have been together for 40 years. So that to me, I was chasing after the thunderbolt,
Oh.
the mom-dad relationship,
Right.
and what I needed to figure out was that sometimes they are more like a slow reveal. And with Natasha, it wasn't like I was like thunderstruck the moment I met her, because I'd known her for years before we
Sure.
started dating. And it was much more of a reveal of like, oh, this person's awesome. She doesn't ever annoy me. And I could spend the rest of my life with her. And that's what slowly happened.
But can I ask you this? And maybe you don't want to answer, but I think I know the answer. Like when you guys started sleeping together.
We did oral, anal, and vaginal.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching that clip that you just watched. Did you enjoy it? I hope you did. If you did, thumbs up it. Why don't you subscribe? Why don't you just keep watching more videos? Let them play. Share with your friends. Go share on your Instagram story. Go just have a great day.